Hi everyone, I am so happy to be back. It was exactly a year ago that I uploaded my last video, and this year everybody knows how it's gone. This year went the way it went, but we are still blessed. We are still here, and I just wanted to sit today and just do my makeup as I come barefaced. The day is horribly rainy. It is thundering. I mean, like very 2020-esque day. Do you hear that? Yep, thunder. So tomorrow is supposed to be sunny and it's supposed to be much, much better. So I'm gonna take that as a sign that 2021 is gonna be much, much better than 2020. So I just wanted to do my makeup and talk a little bit with you guys about everything. So let's get started. Okay, so I watched this video as I was going to start doing my makeup because everything will be linked down below. Because if I just say everything I'm wearing in this video is going to be 100 million hours long, and I don't want that. So I do hope that all of you had a wonderful year. I know it's been a crazy one, but we can find blessing in everything. We can find the good thing in everything. And I know this year has been a challenge for me, for my husband, for my family, but we're healthy. We have work, thank God, and we are here. So I just wanted to sit down today. My lighting may be a little off because of all the rain and everything, and I'm just really doing something very informal, just to sit down, get ready with me, talk, end the year. Just, oh my gosh, I just have so many things to talk about. I don't even know where to start, but I do have some notes, and I saw this video. So I'm going to start. I'm just going to use the Dr. Brandt. I'm going to use things that I love, that make me feel pretty, things that I love. They may be old things. They may be, I think these are all still available, but everything will be listed and or linked down below. I'm just going to start with the Dr. Brandt Luminizer Primer. So I saw this video from Smoky Glow. She's a channel. I'm sure all of you or most of you have heard of her. She is a YouTuber here, and she has a video called Things I Don't Have Time For This Year, or something like that, or things that she's not going to have time for. I'll link it down below. And it gave me an idea, and I kind of took my own take on it, I guess. To fill in my pores, I'm just going to use my Catrice Prime and Fine, which is almost gone. So this 2020 has taught us many, many things. And I think that for me, mostly it's taught me to, that things don't go my way, and that's okay. That it's fine to not be fine with things. It's fine to not be in control, because God knows we were not in control this year of many, many things. And one of the things I went on Facebook a little while ago, a few weeks ago, and posted things that have kept me sane this year. And, many things have kept, not many, just a few things that kept me sane. But the first thing that has kept me sane, I think I know, has been God, has been prayer, has been just knowing that He is present, that He is real, that He hears our prayers, that He is willing and able, that He is willing, that He is able, that He is still God, that He is on His throne, that He's watching us, that He loves us. And when we have things happen like this year happened, we tend to move towards prayer. We tend to move towards devotional and meditate on things that are real important. And so I'm going to start with my eyeshadow. As I was saying, God has been good. He is good all the time. And He has just shown us, that it doesn't matter what's going on out there. We can count on Him. And whether you're a believer or not, I do hope you become a believer, or that this year has taught us to, even if I want to deny it, God is real and God is there for us. And so I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, if you're not a believer, that's okay. This is for me. if you're not a believer, I do hope you become one. And oh my gosh, I have this red spot because my face has been so dry with this weather. So I wrote down some things on a Smokey Glow's video. Like I said, she was talking about things that, she's not going to put up with anymore, or not have time for in 2021. I'm sorry, 2021. I'm going to use a different mix of different palettes. So anyways, I just got the chocolate gold. I know I am very late to the game, but I got it on sale and it is beautiful and I love it. So I'm going to start with this one and just kind of go around. Again, everything will be listed. I don't really know what look I'm doing because I am staying home today. The weather is really bad. So I am staying home today and just wanted to do something simple, something pretty, but simple, nothing too crazy. Anyways, so I wrote my things that I don't have time for, but I also wrote things that I am going to have time for, or that I have figured out that I just need to make the time for it. So the first thing I wrote down is, I am not going to have fear. I'm not going to have fear of anything. The Bible tells us to not be afraid. And it tells us to not be afraid many, many times in the word of God. And that is something that I am going to strive for this year, to not be fearful. One thing is to be careful and to really understand that, that we need to be careful, and that and of course I'm talking about the pandemic, but at the same time, I am not going to be fearful. I am going to trust God and to trust his word and to express that. One of the things that I think we have really become is almost hypocritical in the way that we don't speak about anything, because it's like, somebody may not believe what I believe. That's okay. That is okay. Or they might think that I'm trying to convince them. Well, maybe you are. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work and you move on and you respect each other, But I don't think that we need to live in fear of others, of what others may think or not think. We are respectful, we take into consideration, but I think that being fearful all the time is just not good practice. And so this look started out very bronzy, which I don't know if I wanted to do that, but that's okay. I'm gonna tame it down a little bit with a matte shadow. But I just think that being fearful is not a good idea. Of course, I'm going to take into consideration what others think, but I am not going to be swayed by everything that others think. You know what I mean? Because if I am swayed by everything and if I'm fearful of everything, then I believe in nothing. So we really need to be careful with that. Another thing this year I have watched YouTube, of course. I love YouTube and I have watched it, and I have, kept up with certain things going on. And of course, I watch beauty videos because, of course, I love beauty. And just because I haven't been on YouTube doesn't mean, that I have left my love for makeup. In the contrary, this year I made diamond at Ulta. Don't tell anyone. Anyways, the thing is that I have been watching. And one of the things that I wish, that I hope and pray that goes away in 2021 is cancel culture. I think cancel culture is one of the most destructive things that humans have come up with. Cancel culture is something that is destructive. It is, I don't have adjectives to really tell you how much I dislike and really wish that cancel culture would go away. Because it is not about, let me call somebody out because they did something crazy and something bad, something destructive. And, I think that it's my responsibility to call it out because, this person might change, or, we want change in that person or in that situation. And we're going to take that and call it out, and that person is going to change. It's not about that. It's not about that. It's about pretty much destroying somebody's life, and then that's it. Destroying that person's life and leaving it at that. Not giving that person an inch to, like we believe we're all that in a bag of chips. To that person owes me. So if I call them out, they need to do as I want, when I want, at the time frame that I want, and maybe later they might be forgiven. Who am I? Oh my gosh, who am I to do that? And then what if I find myself in that position where somebody feels the need to call me out and to cancel me and to just say things that are destructive for me, for my family? So I think that is something that we really, really, really need to be careful with and really need to do away with in 2021 and forever. I think that cancel culture, it does not teach the young people anything at all. In the contrary, and I really, really feel very strongly about adults that get into this mind frame of canceling other people, of canceling and just feeling that they have the right to do this, and to, it doesn't matter what that person does, they will always be canceled. It doesn't matter how that person changes. It doesn't matter how that person, accepts or whatever. It's like, oh my goodness, I can't even begin to tell you how much it bothers me. That bothers me because I see young people going after other people. I see adults, like adults, not like young adults, going after young people, going after other adults, going up. And I'm like, oh my goodness, who gave me the right to do that? And then, because if I, in my personal life, I am willing to tell somebody, look, that may not be the right thing for you to do. That may not be, is destructive. You shouldn't go that way. You shouldn't do this or do that, or maybe you shouldn't treat people that way if that is the case, or, whatever. I am not afraid of doing that in real life. I'm not afraid of saying to somebody, because I really want to help somebody. But at the end of the day, if they do not, I may be wrong about it. And they may be, they may say, Majin, you're wrong about that. I did it because of this. They may be willing to talk about it. They may be willing to not. They may be unwilling to talk about it. And that is fine. I have to respect that. I can't go after somebody just because I think they should do, X thing, because I think they should do it this way. Or I think because, one of the things that has really, really bothered me with all of this, we are in the middle of we are in a pandemic. This virus is real. Of course it is. Nobody, it's real. This virus is real. Like many viruses are real. This one has been off the charts. And I understand that a lot of people understand that. There are extremes on either side. There's always extremes, people, always. There's always going to be people that say one thing or another. There's always somebody that's going to say, oh, it's a hoax, or oh, it's not real, or oh. And there are people that are going to be on the other spectrum saying, if you get it, you're going to die, period. People, let's have, let's be centered. Let's be centered. If you see somebody without a mask, it's okay. Guys, it is okay. It is okay. That person may have a reason. That person may, I read the other day on, I don't remember where, somebody saying, it's giving me so much anxiety to see people without a mask out there, and they don't know the trauma they're causing. Well, how do you know that person not wearing a mask has just as much anxiety as you do? And this is why they're not wearing one. You know what I mean? So how about we just understand, and not go up to somebody and call them out, or especially when you don't know them. Like, this has given people like the right. This is not blending the way I want it. I don't know. It's only the second time I use that palette. It's pretty good, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me today that I'm just talking. And I need to move on because this I've already done 15 minutes and oh my gosh, I don't see any end in sight. But anyway, I just think that, you know, we need to respect each other. Oh my gosh, this little patch here that I keep scratching, I don't know. Gosh, I need to stop. Anyways, so just be mindful, you know, because it's really, really crazy how I have watched just people really going off the deep end with things like that. And you know, if you feel the need to wear a mask, in this case, I picked on that because it's what's on my mind right now. But if you feel the need to, by all means, oh my goodness, by all means, wear a mask, do what you need to do. But at the same time, you know, you don't know what that other person is going through. You don't know what that other person is having to deal with. So, and the same thing with anything, you know, I think that people are very willing to jump on other people because they're not doing what I feel comfortable doing. Well, we cannot think that the world is going to always conform to us, because if we have to conform the world to everybody, that is impossible to do. That's a setup for failure. Okay, so as I'm thinking about this, I think silver for the New Year's, maybe. I was thinking about this silver. It's so pretty. This palette, I don't know why it took so long to get this palette. I'm thinking this silver. Oh my gosh, look at that. Or, oh, I don't know, maybe a gold, but I don't know. Okay, so I think I'll go with this one, which is like kind of an in-between shade. It's like a taupe. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I'm gonna try it with my brush first. And just, I'm gonna do it with my finger. I'm just gonna try it with my finger. Okay, so I'm gonna move on because I can be in that topic forever. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh my gosh. This palette is so pretty. Okay, the other thing that I think I don't have time for, that I know I don't have time for in 2021, is intolerance. And I'm talking on any side. We talk a lot about tolerance and, you know, and let's have conversations, but oh my gosh, I'm appalled at the number of times that I have seen people trying to have a conversation, and just because it's different from what that person thinks, they're immediately, you know, they immediately cut off, and they immediately are just like, no, don't pay attention. No, they're not saying what they have to say. They're not saying the right thing. They're not saying, oh my goodness gracious. And then we fall into the intolerance that we say we want to have. So I'm just like, I'm done with, personally, I am done with that entitlement of, yes, I'll have a conversation as long as it is what I want to talk about. I'll have a conversation as long as it fits what I'm thinking. As long, when you have so many, you know, when you have so many, oh my gosh, I don't even know what to call it, prerequisites to have a conversation with somebody, you're not being tolerant. And that goes for me too. When I say you, I mean anyone. That's not tolerance, people. That's just, I'm gonna add a little bit of this silver because I just have to. That's not being tolerant, you know. That is not having a conversation. Oh my goodness, look at that. That is beautiful. That is just not having a conversation. You know, when you have to when you have to cut somebody off, and again, when I say you, I mean anyone. When, you know, when somebody needs to cut somebody off just because they're not saying exactly what that person wants them to say, or going with the agenda that they want to, and this is in anything. I'm not talking, this is in anything. So yeah, I think I'm done with that intolerance. I can't. With, hey, you know what? You want to have a conversation? Let's have a conversation. Let's be adults and let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it. Let's sit. Even if we don't agree, it is fine. It is fine to disagree. It is fine to not be okay, you know? Let me take a minute to do my eyeliner here. Okay, I just went ahead and did my eyebrows with the Anastasia brow definer. I just went ahead and did it, you know, off camera because I don't want this. I keep saying that I don't want this video to be long, but I think it's gonna be long. So moving on, I was talking about the intolerance. I think that, you know, we have an idea of what tolerance is and what it should be, and I think it's really just respecting each other, listening to each other. Is not, oh, you know, I'm done, so I don't want to hear anything that goes against what I think. That's not tolerant, guys. That is not tolerant. And so the thing is this: I may be tired of hearing people talking about things or trying to, you know, or saying things that I don't agree with. I may be tired of that. But that doesn't give me the right to not be tolerant, to not, and then I can't preach tolerance when I'm not being tolerant. You know what I mean? So I just, you know, I wish that would just change in 2021 to really be tolerant. And tolerant means to talk to each other, converse. It's okay to disagree. It is okay to be tired of, oh, you know, I'm just so tired of it. It's okay to be tired of it. It's not okay to cancel people because of that. It's not okay. I'm using the Pretty Fresh foundation. I really like this foundation. This is in the shade Medium 85N. It is so good. Again, it'll be listed down below, but this foundation is very, very good. I really like it, and I need to cover my little spot there. So, you know, I think that cancel culture has just become something that it is intolerant. It's intolerant. So I think all of this kind of goes together and, you know, runs together, the things that I just don't have time for in 2021. Okay, so the other thing was hypocrisy. Oh my gosh, this goes hand in hand with what I was just talking. I think that, you know, my 5 things that that I don't have time for in 2021 can be summed up in this one. Hypocrisy. Oh my gosh. Be what you say you're going to be. And this is for me too. I have to be what I say I am going to be. And this is why, you know, I started at the beginning saying, you know, I'm not going to apologize for being a believer. I'm not going to say, yes, I believe in Jesus Christ, the Son of the living God that came and had a ministry and died for our sins and rose again, you know, and I'm going to believe that, and I'm not going to be anything other than that, because I know that that is true, you know. And if you choose something else, then you choose something else, and that is your choice to make. Do I have to like it? No. You know, do I have to agree with it? No. However, you know, there is an acceptance that happens. I don't have to like it, you know, to accept or to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to respect that person for who they are and what they believe in. Do I agree with it? No. But am I going to change my belief because somebody else doesn't agree with it? No. Okay, so that's where I am having, you know, this year has just been more of an eye-opener than, see, that's so easy. I love that foundation. It has been so much of an eye-opener for me when it comes to that regard, because I do believe that, you know, it's just hypocritical to say, oh yeah, I tolerate so much and it's okay for everybody to everybody, but, you know, those things have consequences. Why am I having consequences for believing what I believe? And, you know, what made me such high up there to decide consequences for somebody else? Oh, my stars in heaven. You know, I just feel that things have consequences, good or bad. Whatever you do has consequences, good or bad, and they will happen. They will happen. I don't have to go out of my way to give somebody consequences, to cancel them. Like, you're not my child. You know, when my child misbehaves, and he's not a child anymore, he's 18, but when he misbehaves and when he does something that is out of the rules in our house, yes, of course, I'm going to say, you know, that is out of line. That is not what we do. And there's consequences in my home because he's my child. But to a total stranger, it's like, oh, no, you know what? No, because I don't know that person's circumstances. I don't know that person's anything. So for me to feel that I have the right to do that is just beyond my comprehension. It really is beyond my comprehension. I just do not, I don't understand how people feel, that they have the right to do that. So that is one thing that I wish would go away in 2021. Hypocrisy. Oh my gosh, I can't with hypocrisy. So the last thing was, that I just don't have time for is things that just don't work for me and my family. Things that don't work for me and my family, let it go. I'm gonna let it go. Let it go, If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'm not going to push it. I'm not going to, you know, and that is anything, situations, other people. If it doesn't work, it does not work. If it is not a blessing, then it's not a blessing, and I don't need to have it. We don't need to have it in our family. We don't need to, a lot of people will call that, oh, let's be positive. It's more than positive. It's just being intentional that things that don't work. Let it go, I'm talking to myself. I'm not necessarily talking to anyone in particular. I'm talking to myself. It's like, Majin, let go of things that don't work for you, right? So things that I do have time for, because, I don't want to end in a negative note, and whoa, oh my goodness. Of course it lands on my white shirt. Things that I do have time for, that I think everybody should make time for, and that I pray that people, make time for. The first thing is God. Guys, I'm not going to be quiet about this anymore. God is first and foremost. God is real. God is true. He is King. He did send his son to die for us in the cross. That son, Jesus, rose on the third day and left his Holy Spirit with us, and is now waiting for his coming. And I believe that wholeheartedly. Now, do I think, and I tell you, I believe that wholeheartedly. And if you don't believe it, okay. That's your choice, right? That's okay. But I believe that wholeheartedly, and I don't think I should be afraid of saying that. I don't think I should be afraid of saying that at all. Not that anyone has told me that I should be afraid of saying it, but I think that in times like these, we need to be bold about what we believe. We need to be bold about it. And I think that we just need to be more vocal. If you are a believer in Jesus, if you are that person that believes in Jesus as your Savior, then be vocal about it. Be vocal about it. I will have time for taking time for myself. I will have time for taking time for myself, and that is okay. It's okay if I want to go off to my room and have a little time for me. It's okay for me to watch my things. It's okay to have time for you. Not that before I thought it was wrong, because I've never been one to really. I don't know. I'm pretty secure in myself, and it's like, when I need this time, I need this time, and that's it. But I don't want it to become selfish, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so it's good for us to take time for us. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, I will have time for friendships and relationships, and that means also within your household. Guys, it's unbelievable how sometimes we are in our household and we feel lonely. Like Robin Williams once said, the worst loneliness you could have is the worst thing you could have. And I'm maybe paraphrasing. The worst thing that could happen to you is be in a room full of people and still be lonely. And that's, he was so right. And we know how that ended. But, to be around friends, family, have relationships, especially at a time when we have just been obligated to stay inside, to not go out, to not, okay, you know what? We need relationships. We need relationships. They are healthy. We need to talk to people. We need to embrace people physically and emotionally. We need to help people out. We need to talk to them. We just, especially to family, guys, don't leave your family alone. Don't leave your grandparents alone, your parents alone. It's so important. Don't leave your small children, your teenagers. They need relationship. They need relationships. So it's one thing. I've always been big on relationships and, family and things like that. But I think this year is even more intentional. And the last thing, am I finishing here? What do I need? What do I still need? Oh, mascara. Okay. I am almost done. Okay, so my last thing that I will have time for is freedom. Guys, and I don't mean, I don't mean politics. I mean freedom. I mean freedom to be just who I am, to speak about things that I love, that I am passionate about, to just have the freedom to just have freedom. Just have freedom. To just have the freedom to speak my mind, to be respectful, to give and receive respect. There's a saying that goes, don't sweat the small stuff. But what is small stuff for me may be big stuff for somebody else. What is small stuff for somebody else may be big stuff for me. So be mindful and have the freedom to say, that's a big deal for me. Or to say, that is not a big deal for me, but I understand where you're coming from and I am going to respect that, and I am going to listen. And I think all of these just run together and go with my, with what I was saying before about let's not be hypocritical, let's not say, oh yeah, I'm so tolerant and so loving, but I'm going to tolerate this, but not this. Whatever I deem XYZ, I'm not gonna even listen to you. What I deem that you're no. Okay, even if somebody is saying the most crazy thing in your eyes or in your mind, even if they're just in your brain, you're like, how can they think this? How can they do this? How can they oh my goodness, calm down. Listen, I'm looking for my lipstick. Calm down. Listen. You never know what that person, you may be that agent of change. You may be that catalyst that person needs to change. Or maybe you're the one that needs to learn something. Maybe I'm the one that needs to learn something. Maybe I'm the one that needs to just listen. And that is so important because, when we put those, let me put my lipstick on. So I was talking about freedom to be who you are, freedom to be, I like the sparkly one for New Year's. Freedom to be who you are, freedom to speak your mind, freedom to be, and also freedom, guys, be free to listen to somebody else. Make yourself free to listen to somebody else. Give that somebody else that opportunity and be free to listen. When we are not willing to engage in conversation, when we are not willing to listen to somebody else because they think differently than I do, when we are adamant to even go there because, oh my gosh, I'm so tired of people not doing X, Y, and Z, or not believing X, Y, and Z, you're not giving yourself freedom to know that person. I'm not giving myself freedom to know that person. If at the end of the day, that person is not somebody that I need to be acquainted with, that person is not somebody that is going to be a blessing to my life, then that's okay. I listened. Then that's where I just make a decision. Oh, I forgot to put highlighter on. So when you give that person, when you give yourself freedom to listen, when you give yourself freedom to have a conversation, when you give yourself freedom to expand your horizons, to be open to that challenge of learning about somebody else, to be open to respecting somebody else's opinion or way of living, even if they if they do not agree with your own, that's freedom. Because you start understanding other people, even if you don't agree. You know, for some reason, and this has been going on for years, for some reason, disagreement has translated into hate. Oh, you know, they disagree is automatically hate. No, it's disagreement. It's disagreement, and it's okay to disagree. I'm gonna use the Colourpop Stay Fresh or Pretty Fresh spray. I want to end this video on a positive note. I wish everybody a very happy new year, a very blessed one. I hope this one is one that will take us to new heights, that will really take us above pettiness, that will take us above hypocrisy, that will take us to maturity, that will take us to listen to each other, to really listen, even if we don't agree. That's okay. Even if we think that, you know, we are right and somebody else is wrong. It's okay, because in conversation, in really listening, and in really being open, and in practicing what we preach of tolerance and peace and having fairness, we need to listen. We need to talk. We need to converse. We need to engage in conversation, and not to prove somebody else wrong, but to really have an exchange of conversation. And I think that that is just so important and so key. And you know, if we let God in, if we let, you know, pray, try it if you haven't. Pray, accept Jesus into your heart if you haven't, because you know, in trying that, in being open and having the freedom to do that for yourself, you may find something that is beyond your wildest thoughts. And so I want to, I don't know if I'm going to film again. I don't know if I'm going to film again this year. I just thought I would sit down and film this video. And even if I don't have many views, that is okay. That is okay if I don't have many views. It's out there. It is for somebody to hear. It is for somebody to understand and know that that hope is here. That hope is not out there. That hope is here, and it is in the person of God, and it's in the person of Jesus, and it can be found. And it can be found, and so find it while it can be found. And so I just want to close it right here. I don't really have a super conclusion or I don't know, an outro, I guess, but just really wanted to leave you with that word. And so again, I don't know if I'm going to film again this year, but I do wish everybody a happy new year, a blessed new year. And comment down below what your goals are, what you think, where you're at, and we'll have a community and talk. So thank you so much. See you guys. And again, happy new year. Bye.